So I've added that in as public, and I've shared that out. And now I'm going to go over here, and again, whenever I modify my configuration file, I've got to restart my web server. I can just hit the up arrow, and so sudo etc init apache 2 restart. And let's see what I did there. Let me do, these files can be very picky. Let me see. Legal option indexed on line 21. Let's see what. There we go. Should be options, indexes, follow some links, multi-views. And I'm going to leave this in the tutorial just to show you how, just a little tiny bit of syntaxes could be important with Apache. But I kind of want to read. So then, now that was line 21. Now line 22. Order takes one argument. Okay. So let me do order allow, deny, and just that little extra space there was giving me issues. Alright, so in your mind, take a snapshot of this. But, case sensitivity, white spacing, things can affect the way the server reads variables and configures itself in the sites available for virtual hosts. But basically, each new folder where I want to enable directory browsing, because of the way that I've set it up here, I'm going to have to set up these tags. Now that I've got the syntax worked out, let me make sure one more time. We'll restart. Alright, good. So syntax looks like it's good there. Then from now on, for each new one, let's test this one. We can kind of copy and paste this block of code for each directory we enable. Okay, so we have set that up. Now the only other thing is I need to make sure that I path to it in the HTML file. So in index.html, my path, remember that this part is acting as root because of the way it's set up in the config file right here. So really all I have to do is make a hyperlink and send it to /public. So if I go over here, I'm gonna, here's a hyperlink that I've made, and it just goes to /public. Okay, so we've restarted the web server, we modified the config file, we've got our HTML. Let's reload the page, and now I'm going to go here, and now I have directory browsing enabled. And these are just some of the files. This is the karma text file, and this is to planet Earth, take me to your leader, and welcome to Pegasus World, and public public on Pegasus. Even a web page here, there's a public HTML there. Okay, now directory browsing has not been set up for this folder or for this folder here, and so again, that's what we want. And we also want to make sure that directory browsing is not set up for the root. So even though it's set up for this folder here, let's test it and make sure that at the root level at var www I can't browse the contents. And again, the way to test that, just simply rename the file. So index.html to not index.html, and if I reload the page, I am forbidden. So I don't have directory browsing set up on the root, but I do have it set up on the child directory. And let me go ahead and change that back. And now something else you can do that's kind of neat with directory browsing. Let's say that I wanted to link to an NTFS partition. So I'm going to go into public, and I keep my music files and things. This is a dual boot server. I have Windows 7 on partition, and I have Ubuntu 10.10 or Maverick Meerkat. But if I wanted to, I could, in this folder, I could place a soft link going to the directory where my music files are. and I could directory browse that even though it's on an NTFS partition. So that's kind of a neat feature of Apache and Linux altogether. And you remember the command for a soft link? I need root privileges, so I'm going to sudo, and I'm going to use ln and the -s option. And then the syntax would be what to link to and then where to put the link. So what I want to link to is a directory. It's mounted in media under data 2, and it's called sounds. Okay, and that's where my music files are. Matter of fact, let me make sure that let's make sure that I got the case sensitivity right for myself. No, okay, let's see. Sound. Good thing I checked. Okay, so I exited that terminal, so let's call that sound. Alright, and then this is what I want to link to, and then where I want to put the link. And I could absolute path it. So if I print the working directory, I could say /variable www and music, but I could also just do this, music. And let me show you what that looks like if I do a long listing. Notice that the arrow here that's pointing, it's a link, and notice it's prefixed with an L. So that's a soft link. Soft link in Linux is like a shortcut in Windows for you Windows people. But with that intact, even though the permissions are different, and even though I'm supposedly not supposed to be able to browse out of this root level directory, I'm not supposed to be able to recurse up. This is sort of a neat little, a neat little way around that. And with that set up in that directory, let's reload our web page. Now that we have restored index, let me go over here. And here's our child directory. And notice here's our soft link. And here's a folder to music. And if I click on this link, there's all my music. And I can go into my music folders, and I can go here and look at all of my music files and things. So it just kind of gives you an idea of some of the neat things that you can do with the Apache web server as far as setting up directory browsing. Now that's utilizing a soft link going to another folder or to another directory.